There's been an idea floating around for a while now that Gennady Golovkin actually carried Danny Jacobs in their fight and allowed him to go the distance and deliberately didn't go for the knockout and try and finish him. This idea has mostly been peddled by Golovkin fanboys who, they can't really be taken seriously because they're so biased. But there are some people who are not necessarily Golovkin fanboys that also believe this notion. Now, I've always felt like it was ridiculous to believe that Triple G carried Danny Jacobs because the fight was far too competitive for that. You don't carry a guy when the fight is competitive and you're getting hit with all kinds of very big shots, eye-catching shots. You don't do that because you never know what's going to happen on the scorecards. And anybody who thinks this fight wasn't competitive is deluded. Simple as that. I feel like Danny Jacobs won. Many other people do. And even if you feel like Golovkin won, if you're saying that Golovkin won by some wide margin, I don't know what to tell you. You're not scoring the fight objectively. Now, Abel Sanchez has now come out and backed up what I'm saying regarding Triple G not carrying Danny Jacobs in the fight. So I'm going to quote Abel Sanchez directly here when he was asked about whether Triple G carried Danny Jacobs and didn't go for the knockout and tried to look bad deliberately so that Canelo would fight him. Abel Sanchez says, absolutely not. You never take a chance on losing a fight by doing something ridiculous like that. You take a chance of the judges seeing it the other way. Our fight against Canelo was made because Canelo felt that he was ready. Oscar felt that he was ready. And the Reynosos felt he was ready. He goes on to say, but there was no intent on our part, on mine or Golovkin's part, or the team's part to look bad. We did what we needed to do against Jacobs to win. Jacobs was a difficult opponent, but by no means did we slack off. We wanted this fight, but we wanted this fight at our best. So those are the words of Abel Sanchez, Gennady Golovkin's trainer. Case closed. He did not carry Jacobs. He tried his best, but I know it's hard for Triple G fanboys to accept this. Golovkin has got flaws. Oh, yes, he does. And Danny Jacobs was able to exploit a lot of his flaws. And a lot of the fanboys want to cry about how big Jacobs was in the ring. They weren't crying about the fact that Triple G fought a welterweight in his fight before then. They weren't crying about the fact that Triple G was trying to fight people like Pacquiao and Mayweather for years. So don't cry about weight. Yeah, the IBF are the only organization who demand a morning of the fight check weight. The other organizations don't need it. They don't demand it. So Danny Jacobs did nothing illegal. He didn't do anything bad. He just said, okay, I'm going to come in big. I don't need the IBF belt. Danny Jacobs was WBA regular champion. So the very same Danny Jacobs who fought Sergio Mora and Peter Quillin was the same guy who got in the ring with Golovkin. Same guy. Yes, same version of Jacobs. Probably trained harder for Golovkin, but in terms of his size, he's the same size fighting the likes of Peter Quillin and Mora and all these guys as he was when he fought Triple G. And that kind of also ties into what I was saying about Canelo Alvarez's punch resistance, because Danny Jacobs don't have the greatest punch resistance. He was still a very big middleweight when he fought Sergio Mora, but he got dropped in that fight. So a guy as big as he is fighting a Sergio Mora getting dropped in their first fight goes 12 rounds with Golovkin. In my view, I know Canelo ain't fought a middleweight yet, but I suspect Canelo has got a better chin than Danny Jacobs. That's my suspicion. He's got a better chin than Jacobs. I know he was rocked early on in his career by Miguel Cotto's brother, but that was a long time ago when he was still a teenager. I think he's grown into his man strength now, and I believe he's got better punch resistance than Jacobs. So to just assume that he can't go and take Gennady Golovkin's punches, I think is a little bit, short-sighted. Now, again, I'm favouring Golovkin in the fight, but I don't think this is as one-sided as some people seem to think it is. Again, Canelo can't move like Danny Jacobs can. But Danny Jacobs didn't run in the fight. You go look at the highlights of the fight and you'll see Danny Jacobs standing in the pocket exchanging with Triple G. That's what you'll see. You won't see man running around the ring the whole fight and never engaging. No, you'll see him. Yeah, he moved, but he was never running. It wasn't like Amir Khan style or Erislandy Lara like when he fought Canelo. No, he was moving. He was never running. And he was exchanging in the pocket loads of times with Triple G. And it's the work that he did in the pocket against Triple G, which makes me think that Canelo can be effective in that fight. Even Kell Brook was able to stand with Triple G in spots and exchange and get uppercuts off. And again, I have to reiterate, Triple G tends to shell up when you throw punches at him. That's what he tends to do. If somebody actually throws a sustained barrage of punches against Triple G, he shells up. He's not like a Mike Tyson who will dip this way, dip that way and counter and combat. No, that's not Triple G. He might throw the occasional counter back, but generally, if you're really opening up on him, he will shell up. And he'll almost freeze. He won't throw shots back. That's what happened to him in the late rounds against Danny Jacobs. That's what happened to him in a couple of the rounds against Willie Lemond. Sorry, not Willie Lemond. Willie Monroe. Yeah, against Willie Monroe, he showed up when Willie Monroe was unloading on him. Canelo was a very good combination puncher. Very good. If he can get Triple G's respect and keep him under manners with them combinations, don't be surprised if Triple G shells up. Now, one thing I will say about Triple G, excellent jab. That could be his savior against Canelo if he's in trouble. It could be the jab. He does have a much better jab than Canelo. I will definitely concede that. He's a harder puncher than Canelo. But technically, other than the jab, I'm saying Canelo's the better fighter. He's more versatile. He's smoother. He's much less mechanical. He's a better combination puncher. He's got faster hands. He's got better head movement. I don't know. I just think he's overall a better technical fighter than Triple G, other than that jab. You know, you look at Triple G against Kell Brook. Did he look technically better than Brook? Not to me, he didn't. He looked stronger than Brook. But if anything, Brook looked to have the better boxing skills than Triple G in that fight. And Canelo can box. You know, I just think Canelo he's got more facets to his game than Triple G. You know, just a better overall skill set. But yeah, the Triple G jab is serious, his power is serious, and Triple G is very, very good at cutting off the ring. I don't think there's anybody in boxing right now who's better at cutting off the ring than Triple G. So yeah, I'm leaning towards Triple G because of the power and because of the fact that Canelo fights in spurts. That's the thing that concerns me about Canelo, is he likes to take breaks in fights. And if he hasn't sufficiently got Golovkin's respect, and he hasn't maybe buzzed him a few times to keep him off, then during those times when Canelo wants to rest, Golovkin's going to be on his case and he ain't going to leave him alone. And that's when Canelo could find himself in serious trouble. So anyway, I've gotten diverted off into talking about Triple G versus Canelo rather than sticking to what Abel Sanchez has said here about Triple G not carrying Danny Jacobs in the fight and not trying to look deliberately bad to entice Canelo to fight him. So you'll have to forgive me for that. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below, people, about what Abel Sanchez has said here, and also what you think about my take on the Canelo fight. Drop it all in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, make sure you click the notification bell below this video to receive alerts for all my future uploads. And also, appearing on screen right now, or in a very short amount of time, in a few moments, you'll see a selection of 4 other videos which I recorded recently. You might want to go have a look at those if you ain't watched them already. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Favorite the video. Share the video. Do something with the video. All right? It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.